Hi, I'm Cassie and welcome to my kitchen here in Japan, where I'm learning how to make Japanese recipes and showing you guys how to make them along the way. One of my most popular recipes is my matcha cookie recipe, and so I thought I would just continue down that matcha pathway and make some matcha brownies today. But I think that most people would agree that for brownies, you really want to have that dense and fudgy texture, which means that we basically need to do the opposite of what we would do for fluffy and light cakes and cookies. So we're going to use no baking powder, much less flour, and we're going to be a bit careful with how we mix everything. Because the more that you mix something, the more air that you're adding in there, and the more that it will expand in the oven, and you'll just get these nice light and fluffy cakes, which is great for these cakes, but not so good for our fudgy brownies. So I have a few tips to share with you along the way, but let's just get started. So first off, we're going to chop up our white chocolate. And with part of this white chocolate, I'm going to chop it very, very finely so that we can melt it with the butter. And the other part, I'm going to chop a bit more roughly so that we can have some chunks of white chocolate throughout the batter. But that bit's optional, so if you don't want the chunks, then you can omit those. And the reason that we're using white chocolate, well, there are two reasons we're using white chocolate. One is for that signature green color of matcha. If you use any milk chocolate or dark chocolate, then it'll just look like a regular brownie. And another thing is for the taste. So if you use a milk chocolate or especially a dark chocolate, then it will really overpower the matcha flavor. But also matcha is quite bitter and earthy, but white chocolate is obviously very sweet and milky, so it really offsets the bitterness of the matcha. And once you've chopped up your chocolate, make sure you set aside the roughly chopped chocolate for later and use the finely chopped chocolate with some chopped butter. That will help them both melt quite easily. And we're going to put it in the microwave at 20-second intervals until it's just melted. There might still be a few chunks of butter in there, but that's okay. And then just mix it up until it's a nice smooth mixture. We don't want to do this for too long, so maybe 2 or 3 times. If you do it any longer than that, then the chocolate is going to get too hot and it's going to start to separate. But don't panic if it does separate. You can just add a small splash of cold milk and then whisk it up until it's smooth again, and then it will be fine to use. Then take that buttery, chocolatey, melty mixture and put in both of your sugars. And the reason that I used a mixture of white and light brown sugar here is because brown sugar has molasses in it, which gives it a slightly more fudgy flavor. So it's going to help with the overall fudginess of our brownies. If you want an even more toffee-like flavor, then you can use dark brown sugar instead. And we're going to whisk this with a hand whisk because we only want to combine it until just combined, so it's like a sort of sugary paste. If you continue to whisk and you whisk it too much, then you're going to add in a lot of air and it's going to make your brownies into more of a cake. So this kind of grainy, sugary texture is perfect. And because my microwave and my oven are the same machine, I have to wait a little bit before I can preheat the oven, so I'm going to do that now and preheat it to 180 degrees. And now we're going to add in the egg and vanilla and hand whisk until just combined. And now we're going to sift in the flour and matcha. And once again, we want to be very careful here not to overmix, because when you overmix flour, then you end up overdeveloping the gluten, which can basically make it a bit more bready or cakey, which we don't want for our fudgy brownies. So we want to mix it with a rubber spatula until it's just mixed. So once you're done mixing, it should look something like this, and it's going to be very, very thick. This is perfect for our fudgy matcha brownies. And the final touch is just to add in our chunks of white chocolate. So now we're just going to pour our matcha brownie batter into our cake tin, and these stains on the bottom of my cake tin are from when I first moved to Japan and I didn't have an oven or a baking tray, so I thought it'd be a great idea for the first time I ever made macarons to make them on the bottom of my cake tin in a fish grill. Needless to say, it did not go well, and forever my cake tin will be paying the price with these stains, but it still works perfectly fine. So I'm just going to pour my batter into here and then we'll bake them for 25 to 30 minutes. And I like to add a little pinch of pink salt over the top, but if you don't have this, you can just add a pinch of normal salt into your batter. Ah, don't they look so good? But now I've got to exercise a little bit of self-control, and we've got to leave them to cool down a little bit before we eat them. Okay, I'm such a sweet tooth. I love it when I do these kind of videos. I should make more sweet things. Normally I would cut these a lot smaller, but I thought it would have a bit more visual impact if I made them a bit bigger. Now let's give them a taste. These are so good. I mean, they're really, really fudgy. They have such a gooey center and such a nice crispy outside. Like, especially this bit that gets in contact with the cake tin, it goes quite crunchy. So it has a lot of nice texture variation. And it has that perfect balance of like the earthy matcha taste with such a nice sweetness from the sugar and the white chocolate. These are definitely not healthy, but they taste so good. These are definitely the best brownies I've ever made. So if you enjoyed what you saw and you're thinking of making these, then don't forget to subscribe. But that's it for today, so I'll see you next Sunday.